Is it not enough that all these children starve to death and die of hunger-related issues? Sometimes they're better off starving to death than dying of some of these hunger-related issues, as I'm sure we can all imagine. Drinking disgusting water, trying to survive. These arrogant fools who have homeless people in their own developed nations. Their unfair wars precede them. Pompous as it gets. How did it help them and their offspring to make their most important decisions about persecuting me unfairly? Did I not love the world more than anyone ever has in a way that God allows, by giving them the true gospel of God, regardless if people accuse me of being racist or a misogynist? Can you imagine? The spirit means everything, the flesh means nothing, and they think that I'm a racist? Can you imagine? The most outspoken person in a way that actually insists on the solution to mass rape in human history. And they think I'm a misogynist. I used to listen to Tupac's Keep Your Head Up back to back, hours a day. I wonder why, quote unquote, he was saying that people rape women. You know, he's used the word we. Why we hate our women. I think it's time to kill for our women, time to heal our women, be real to our women. And they think that I'm some kind of woman hater. Who has reached out to the LGBT community to get them to do what is morally precise more than I have in history? You see, the scales are all wrong and backwards. Woe to you who call good evil and evil good. If you're trying to lead them astray, you're trying to do them harm. If you have no viable counter-argument in a life where all we have is logical assumptions, one philosopher might say, and the logical assumption is, I have the most sound argument for what is best for them, then I'm trying to do them right. If you were God's son, would you not chastise these people according to their deeds, according to their groups? Am I supposed to call them out as individuals? In the world of 8 billion people? To some degree I do. But it's much easier to put them together as groups. If the shoe fits, wear it. If you're not supposed to wear it, cleanse yourself with the living water of God and take it off. You think I mean harm to these little Jewish and white kids? I mean harm unfairly? You think I'm not giving them the exact, precise judgments that are correct? You think I didn't warn their parents a million times over? I say, stop mocking God. And black people, thugs. We call token minorities. They want to be called professionals. Did I spare the rod with them, perhaps? Perhaps I spared the rod of my own family. All but my parents who are blameless, I condemn to hell unless they can do God's work before it's too late. What I mean to say. Did I spare the rod for the guilty? In a nation that's quick to lock the black man up. One point I read 45% to 50% of the prisons nationwide. Black people. Only 12 to 13% of the nation. Where corporate rape is rampant. Corporate greed and crimes are rampant. Crimes that affect much more people in a much more dramatic and profound way. That they weren't quick to lock them up. They're victims who lashed out as you would expect they would. The crimes in Warsaw, in World War II, in Poland, their crime rates were high, and they were Jewish people. The war crimes in World War II, all those white people raping and stealing, the crimes were high, and they were white, which has shown us the circumstances. There's drug wars, there's gang wars, the circumstances of the region and situation and of the person's lives very much determine or help determine if that person commits crimes. Those who control the circumstances more than others cannot claim to be above guilt. Did I not love attractive women as no one has tried to save them more than I have? Did I not love unattractive women by telling them the truth? Say, stop disassociating. Work on yourself. Stop disassociating. It is through righteousness and justice, you can be made attractive. And stop disassociating. You don't need to have some kind of pretty boy or God's son. You need to have righteousness and justice and the mental clarity to discern what is correct. It is not good for anybody to settle in a relationship. What happens when you do? You think they don't detect that you aren't madly in love with them? You think it doesn't fuck with their head? How often do people cheat when they settle? How often do people beat when they settle? These people always recommend what's wrong for you. Like their movie Cruel Intentions. Why do you have cruel intentions? I have lived my life insisting on moral precision, true love, and a divine order to do God's work. So when I meet my Maker, then I know that I did him justice. Before I recommended myself as the leader of all of humanity, I said, hey, look toward the Igbos, and there's been too many white popes. No one looks at that and thinks it's fair. I said, that's not good. I said, well, Catholics seem to outnumber other Christians. Let's pinpoint what God's gospel is and have a universal order. Therefore, I pointed to myself. Years and years and years before. Determined to fix the problem. I heard stories. Females being raped by their brothers, by their step-parents, at parties. I said, go out there and tell your friends that shit is real. Start swelling up with hatred. Working the angles, trying to get it through their head. Shit is real. And females do get raped. And it stays with them for a long time. And I hear it in their voices. I see it in their behaviors. It affects their decisions going through life. And oftentimes they team up with the stereotypes of black males. And they're wary of me. The things that keep people from seeing good in me to the point where they rally to me are rather unfortunate, at times petty. We look at the wordplay in the words. After a life of fighting against rape, one of the cruelest and most unfair things is to see that it is in the language and they didn't expose it themselves and stop it. Prepare is pre-rape scrambled. Pirate is rape it scrambled. Compare, mock rape. All those movies where they rape people and they act like immature dogs. The hazing is connected to the behaviors of the rapists. One of the most cruel and unfair things is to say, yes, it is calculated. Yes, we're not going to change it. Yes, we're going to stigmatize you. We don't want our kids to look up to you. We want them to look up to the organized rapists, including those who rape children. If you were me, would you not be disgusted? Full of moral outrage? Would you not feel betrayed by your country? By the inhabitants of the earth? Would you not see yourself in characters in the story who are ganged up on by immoral trash? Would you not eventually realize that a man who is rejected by others cannot reject himself? Would you not want to hold a beautiful woman when she cries in your arms and she says, thank you, Jesus. I cannot believe you are here when she finally realizes that what I've been trying to explain is all true. I am the Son of God. I'm the one that people unwittingly are praying to in a sense. They're praying to a psychological idea in a story, but they're also praying to God and I. And God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son. When you say we don't want him to look up to you, you're saying that to the one God sent. So they look up to him because God loves them. God says, I love you so much. Here's the most precious gift ever. And you say, he's not good enough for me. He can't afford me. He's no good. It's no good. It's no good, says the buyer. But then turns around and says, wait a second. Wait a second. Now I'm in trouble. Now I'm on my deathbed in the foxholes. How many of you think it is fair that they did not love me enough to transcend this piece of shit world? That women didn't run up and hug me? Little kids? That we didn't form a moral committee and take on these oppressors? That they try to get all hot and sexy for organized rapists, giving away that which is far more precious than any of them have ever described. The body is supposed to be a vessel to receive the Spirit of God in many ways, including making love. And here they are in the spirit of Eros, that mischievous little rapist devil dog, having satanic sex with the oppressor. And they wonder why samurai's wives would kill themselves for less. It took but a breath from someone like me without even saying a word. And someone who's insightful would know immediately that death is preferred to defiling yourself with these dogs. But does that mean that it's over because you're not virgins? No. It is only over when in your heart you decide that you are on the devil's side. It is also over when I die. Because narrow is the way, but I am the gate. Few find the narrow way. Even fewer find the gate, and even fewer make it through the gate. The cost of being selected and allowed to enter into heaven is complete loyalty to God. Obviously, a willingness to die on the drop of a hat. Did I not love you people enough to come to this cruel world where people commit suicide because of the cultural sickness around them, because they don't feel like it's worthwhile to be here? And those are among the most sane people that I refer to. A harsh place where little girls are crying while they're getting raped as I speak, where people are coerced into despicable sex acts, into making porn. A harsh place where the most righteous man that ever lived cannot get even a single person to rally and obey moral precision. Obviously, obeying God. A place where people would rather be witches and hellraisers than decent women. Where people would rather raise cruel harpies and succubi and sirens instead of decent women. A place where they mock God and pretend to worship him. A place where they turn their backs on the poor and they say, you're a poor immigrant. And they lick their chops. Liberals and conservatives alike. And can't wait to sexually exploit them. Can't wait to exploit their labor. And turn around and talk about how hard they work for a living. Hypocrites. Traitors. Traitors to their family. Traitors to God. Traitors to their race. Traitors to their nation. If your nation wants you to do something that's bad for it, and everyone's doing it, that doesn't make you a true patriot to go along with them. You have to say no. You have to stand firm. You have to consider those who have it the worst. That which you did not do for those who have it the worst, you did not do for God. And first and foremost, you must try to bring them to God in truth. Before any of you accuse me of hate speech, please realize that it is love speech. Thank you.